It always seems impossible until it's done.
Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising. Every time we fall, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. Lead from the back and let others believe they are in front. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived, it is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity, it is an act of justice. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. We must use time creatively and forever. Realize that the time is always ripe to do right. There is no passion to be found playing small in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. As I have said, the first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. I dream of an Africa which is in peace with itself. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere. We must use time wisely and forever. Realize that time is always ripe to do right. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. I never lose. I either win or learn. It is said that no one truly knows a nation until one has been inside its jails. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. It is not where you start but how high you aim that matters for success. A fundamental concern for others in our individual and community lives would go a long way in making the world the better place we so passionately dreamt of. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. It is wise to persuade people to do things and make them think it was their own idea. I detest racialism because I regard it as a barbaric thing, whether it comes from a black man or a white man. Money won't create success, the freedom to make it will. Courageous people do not fear forgiving for the sake of peace. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden, but never extinguished. It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory when nice things occur. Action without vision is only passing time. Vision without action is merely daydreaming, but vision with action can change the world. When people are determined, they can overcome anything. There can be no greater gift than that of giving one's time and energy to help others without expecting anything in return. We must use words that will bring out the best in people. We must strive to be moved by a generosity of spirit that will enable us to outgrow the hatred and conflicts of the past. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Peace is the greatest weapon for development that any person can have. We should never forget those on whose shoulders we stand and those who paid the supreme price for freedom. No single person can liberate a country. You can only liberate a country if you act as a collective. We are children, the most vulnerable citizens in any society. A life free from violence and fear. We must use words that will bring out the best in people. When a man has done what he considers to be his duty to his people and his country, he can rest in peace. The true character of a society is revealed in how it treats its children. Great anger and violence can never build a nation. Reconciliation means working together to correct the legacy of past injustice. It is in your hands to create a better world for all who live in it. Let there be work, bread, water, and salt for all. We must confront our own fears. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor. We must dismantle oppression at its core. It is our duty to give support to one another. There is no such thing as part freedom. A society that does not value its older people denies its roots and endangers its future. We must strive to be more like children, seeking out the good and the joy in the world. It is the youth that will make the difference. The journey to freedom is irreversible. Our march to freedom is irreversible. Only free men can negotiate. Prisoners cannot enter into contracts. We must strive to be more humane. We must act as one united force. It is in our hands to lift up the weak and the vulnerable. The time for healing of the wounds has come. We must believe that our dreams can come true. I am not an optimist but a great believer of hope. We must end the violence that haunts our communities. Our humanity is bound together in a single garment of destiny. The power of love to transform and to heal. A new era is dawning for our people. We must build a society based on equality and justice. We must break the chains of poverty and exploitation. We must transform the quality of life of our people. The time is always ripe to do what is right. We must strive to be more like children, seeking out the good and the joy in the world. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising. Every time we fall, we must confront our own fears. The power of love to transform and to heal. There is nothing more important than the liberty of our people. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.